though he could not deny that the brothers were eerie in their silence and their peculiar gliding motions. They moved around to Adele's side of the bed as the door opened again, and Adele's mother and father entered. Her father, Aloysius' son, in scarlet gear, his wife in a red dress that belled out at the waist, and a golden necklace from which hung an Enkeli rune. They smiled at their daughter, who gave a tremulous smile back, even as the Silent Brothers surrounded her. Adele Lucinda Starkweather. It was the voice of the first Silent Brother, Brother Kaiman. You are now of age. It is time for the first of the angel's marks to be bestowed on you. Are you aware of the honor being done you, and will you do all in your power to be worthy of it? Adele nodded obediently. Yes. And you accept these marks of the angel, which will be upon your body forever, a reminder of all that you owe to the angel and of your sacred duty to the world. She nodded again, obediently. Aloysius's heart swelled with pride. I do accept them, she said. Then we begin. A stele flashed forth, held in the Silent Brother's long white hand. He took Adele's trembling arm and set the tip of the stele to her skin and began to draw. Black lines swirled out from the stele's tip, and Adele stared in wonderment as the symbol for strength took shape on the pale skin of her inner arm, a delicate design of lines intersecting with each other, crossing her veins, wrapping her arm. Her body was tense, her small teeth sunk into her upper lip. Her eyes flashed upward at Aloysius, and he started at what he saw in them. Pain. It was normal to feel some pain at the bestowing of a mark, but what he saw in Adele's eyes was agony. Aloysius jerked upright, sending the chair he had been sitting on skittering away behind him. Stop! He cried, but it was too late. The rune was complete. The Silent Brother drew back, staring. There was blood on the stele. Adele was whimpering, mindful of her grandfather's admonition that she not cry out. But then her bloody, lacerated skin began to peel back from the bones, blackening and burning under the rune as if it were fire, and she could not help but throw her head back and scream and scream. London, 1873. Will? Charlotte Fairchild eased the door of the Institute's training room open. Will, are you in there? A muffled grunt was the only response. The door swung all the way open, revealing the wide, high-ceilinged room on the other side. Charlotte herself had grown up training here, and she knew every warp of the floorboards, the ancient target painted on the north wall, the square-paned windows, so old they were thicker at the base than the top. In the center of the room stood Will Herondale, a knife held in his right hand. He turned his head to look at Charlotte, and she thought again what an odd child he was. Although at 12, he was barely still a child. He was a very pretty boy, with thick dark hair that waved slightly where it touched his collar, wet now with sweat and pasted to his forehead. His skin had been tanned by country air and sun when he had first come to the Institute. Those 6 months of city life had drained its color, causing the red flush across his cheekbones to stand out. His eyes were an unusually luminous blue. He would be a handsome man one day, if he could do something about the scowl that perpetually twisted his features. What is it, Charlotte? He snapped. He still spoke with a slight Welsh accent, a roll to his vowels that would have been charming if his tone hadn't been so sour. He drew his sleeve across his forehead as she came partway through the door, then paused. I've been looking for you for hours, she said with some asperity, though asperity had little effect on Will. Not much had an effect on Will when he was in a mood, and he was nearly always in a mood. Didn't you recall what I told you yesterday? That we are welcoming a new arrival to the Institute today? Oh, I remembered. Will threw the knife. It stuck just outside the circle of the target, deepening his scowl. I just don't care. The boy behind Charlotte made a stifled noise. I'll laugh, she would have thought. But certainly he couldn't be laughing. She had been warned the boy coming to the Institute